Hi, I'm Amanda Shekarchi, and I am joined by Tina Powell, aka Tean Dream. Her EP Shine is out now, which is her first solo project. Tina also plays keys and sings backup vocals in the band Sunshine Makers and is also part of the band Hard Lake. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
How would you describe your connection with music?
I would say it's deep rooted. It comes, I've played for a long time. I played piano since I was a kid, and then I don't think I really realized until later in life how much joy and grounding it brought me. And yeah, I think that without it, I wouldn't feel whole. I would feel like something's missing. I think it's just got this magical connecting quality that sort of, for me, connects me to something larger, like the magic of the world, the essence that's out there. So yeah, it's definitely like long term, deep rooted, and there's a lot of joy there, a lot of curiosity there.
I love that. And how is the creative process different when you're working on your solo music versus working for bands like Sunshine Makers?
Yeah, it's quite different because with my music, with like the Tean Dream recordings, they're songs that I've written at my piano essentially. So they're, lyrically and musically coming from like my soul, like just an idea I want to explore or a feeling I have, um, and then bringing those ideas to forward, and then people coming and adding a bass line or adding production ideas. Whereas in other bands, I'm generally a support in terms of putting down piano lines, adding vocal harmonies. So it's a joy to have both. But I think the ability to do this EP, it was my first time getting to record songs that I've written, and it was so satisfying. It felt so good. It was very scary in a lot of ways. Putting out songs you've written yourself is so different from supporting people in songs they've written, because objectively it's easy. I think Sunshine Maker's songs are amazing and I feel honored to play on them. But then when you go put out your own songs, it's kind of like, oh my God, will they resonate, But I think that's where you have to just believe, if it's truthful and if it means something to you, it will likely connect with somebody else. And I think that's the whole point.
Definitely. And I know the EP for sure connected with me, especially the aspect of being kind of a coming of age in a way, because you're still trying to kind of figure out where you are. But we'll dive into that a little bit more with the EP. It's called Shine and it's out now. What do you hope listeners take away from this project?
I hope that listeners feel good and that they find in themselves the good, I think it's so easy to get lost in all of the noise and the busyness of life and expectations that you kind of internalize that aren't even of you yourself. And I hope that people listen and to the music and feel like they want to connect more. They want to connect with their own soul and the world, and make choices that bring good and light for themselves and for others.
Definitely. And why the title Shine?
You're the first person who's ever asked me that. So yeah, thank you. No one's, even friends, no one's asked me. But for me, it felt like, because it's my first time ever recording and releasing my own music, and it was a really big deal for me because I've played for so long, I've written for so long, and I never really believed that I would be able to do that. I felt like it's my chance to shine a little bit, and that idea of everybody having their soul shine, joy shine, and just this idea of light. And yeah, that's kind of it.
Love that. And even to me, like when I listen to the production, there's kind of like a shiny quality to it too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so I know one of the first songs you wrote for this EP was Frozen Lakes. How did it influence the direction of this project?
That was the song that started it all. I'd written songs and been playing in bands for a while, but like I said, I never thought I would record or didn't take myself seriously in that way as a songwriter. And then my partner actually, for Christmas one year, he bought me studio time for my gift, like my Christmas gift. And so I was trying to pick which song. I had a couple at that time, and I chose Frozen Lakes and went into our friend's studio and recorded the piano and vocal, and we built it up. We got Tom, who plays drums on Sunshine Makers. He played drums. He's incredible. And then Brent is my partner. He put bass on, and it was just the first song. This was back in January of 2023. And I liked having it. I put it on SoundCloud, and I just felt proud that I did it. And then a year later, so January 24, I was like, I think I want to record more. So it really laid the foundation for how we approach the recording process. Every song we did, I sat down at the upright in the studio and I sang the vocal and played the piano at the same time. And then we built it up. We added in the other instruments, sort of this building process, and we just took it one song at a time, which I really liked, because I've done other recording now, like as a support, and sometimes you have to do a whole bunch of songs all at once, but it was really this process that we used for Frozen Lakes that we replicated in the other 5 songs. Just kind of me at the piano and then building. Though a few of them we redid the vocal, like so I could focus on singing it a little bit more, but we pretty much stayed on that sort of process. So Frozen Lakes started the whole thing.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And like, how would you say your background in like playing classical piano like influenced your creative direction when it came to this EP?
Well, I guess that was my foundation in terms of understanding music. Was I had sort of a really basic, chord and scale foundation, and just playing at the upright. So that's how I write all the songs. Like I said, I think, I don't know, it'd probably sound different if I was a guitar player first or never had a classical background. I think just some of my natural tendencies for how I approach the piano probably come from that foundation. Having to learn, not that I would say it's like a classically influenced work, but, for so long as a kid, I was playing, you did conservatory classical piano as well. So, playing like, Beethoven, beautiful songs that have all these intricate runs and things like that. I feel like it gets into you on some level. So it must come out.
Interesting, because sometimes you think like, classical music can be kind of considered a little bit rigid in the structure, but then like it's instrumental when it comes to thinking out of the box, because yes, it's foundation, but there's also room to kind of play around a little bit.
I love that. Yeah, I do use dynamics a lot, and I never even made that connection that's probably where that comes from. Because in classical music, like you're saying, that can really elevate a section where all of a sudden you're fortissimo,
Exactly. So something I love doing is really diving deep into lyrics. So this line from Frozen Lakes stood out to me. So it was red tile stars under my feet, giant letters, writer's dreams. So what's the inspiration behind that line?
So that song I wrote after I went to Hollywood for like a vacation one time, and I was struck by this moment where it was because I asked about all the out-of-state license plates that I was seeing, like a lot, not just 2 or 3. It was not very many California plates for a California city. And I asked the person I was with, why are there so many out-of-state plates? And they said, oh, because people come here and they try to make their dreams happen. And most of them don't really get to stay long enough to have to change their license plates. And I was focused on that idea of what does it is that sad? Is that not sad? Like that just felt significant to me. The idea of people, so many people coming and going for their dreams and it maybe not turning out the way that they thought. So that line, like the red tile stars under my feet. So that's the like Hollywood Walk of Fame, you know, you're walking along there. That was a cool thing to do. And giant letters like the Hollywood sign and writers' dreams. You know, people come, maybe they're songwriters or they're script writers or but just that idea of coming somewhere and trying. And that's yeah, that's what that song is about. It's not even saying it's sad or not sad. It's just you know, later on it says, I hope I made you proud. And did you hear that sound? And, you know, like I tried and I'm doing it. And maybe there's something beautiful in that, no matter how it turned out.
Lovely. That's awesome. Now, I want to talk about the opening track, Radio, because I just think it really sets the tone for this EP. And a line I wrote down was, dance with me to the radio, listen to your heartbeat. Let's talk more about that.
I love your questions so much. This
Thank
is
you.
like a treat for me. That song is just about being in the moment. And I think especially in the music industry, we try so hard and we face a lot of disappointment, a lot of rejection. And you know, the radio is one thing, like, you know, sometimes it's frustrating what's on the radio and sometimes you wish you could have successes that other people have. But in the end, if you just listen to what is around you and what's inside of you, you'll find joy. And that's sort of what that song and that line is about. Like, just come dance with me to the radio and listen to your heartbeat. Like, and that will, you know, give you your rhythm for your dance. And yeah, that song is just meant to be light and inviting. And I think I like the chorus of it with the harmonies on there. It kind of like, yeah, it sets the tone in this. It's meant to be like positive.
Definitely. And something you touched on about is kind of this EP being about self-discovery. What advice do you have for other people who are still trying to figure out who they are or what they want to pursue?
Oh, wow. Oh, that almost made me tear up. I don't know. I think follow your heart. I had someone say to me one time, the idea of following like what you have a crush on. So not necessarily like a romantic sort of crush, but you know, sometimes you're just called to something and you can't really explain why you just have a crush on it because there's something in you that likes it. You know, listen to that. Listen to your subconscious or whatever it is that you want to call it, and just trust in that and surround yourself with people who make you feel good in those things. That would be my main advice. And no, also, this is, I think, something that I've really, really wrestled with because I always wanted to have a plan. I always wanted to be in control of my own life and make sure I had a good life in the future. And then once I was in my career for 10 years, I was like, oh my gosh, my life isn't in the future. You know, it's now. My life is now. And if I don't like it now, I'm not what am I doing? You know? So I think the idea of trying to be present and not being afraid to make a change, because anything could change at the flip of a dime, right? You could lose your job or a hurricane could happen. You know, you never really know, even though you feel like you know, in the safety of your patterns or following the path that you're told is the most safe. I think if you follow your crushes, like in your passions, and you're true to yourself, you'll be happier and you'll bring more joy to yourself and to the world.
I love that. Honestly, it really hits home because, like, that's how I feel. So, what upcoming projects do you have or projects going on now that you want to talk about?
Right now, it's pretty busy with Sunshine Makers because it's our season, you know, summertime. So we're playing a bunch of shows this summer. We've got this show on Saturday at Drom that I'm looking forward to, and then for me personally with Tean Dream, I'm hoping to release a single either late fall or early winter. So I've written more songs, and I definitely want to do a follow up EP or a follow up album. It's just the timing I'm not certain on yet. So I haven't started recording, but I'd really like to make an effort to do some uh, local touring in the fall. So once we have less Sunshine Makers shows, take myself to some towns close by and just connect with more people in a live setting. That's something I really want to do. And then, yeah, do a little recording and hopefully release a song in before the end of the year.
Where can people find you if they want to learn more about you and your music?
Well, I'm on the old Instagram there, it's Tean Dream Music at, no, it's at Tean Dream Music. Anyways, but the T, it's spelled Tean, because the EE was taken. No. And then I also have a website. It's just teandream.ca. And those are the main spots. I'm on YouTube as well. Same thing, Tean Dream Music at YouTube. And yeah, I would love to connect with any listeners. This is my favorite part about music, is just actually the people you get to meet and the connections you get to have. So yeah, say hi, give me a follow, and I'll follow you back. Yeah, thank you so much. Those are the main spots. But you can email me, or it's all there on the things.
Thank you so much, Tina, for being here. The EP Shine is out now.